Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, today's show is sponsored by Deters Law. Well, Joe Biden, and apparently they've done some polling data on this, so they think, I don't know who they polled, that they think talking about ultra mega and all these things is going to help their cause. He referred to Trump as majestic super god emperor of the universe. You know, I guess they think that that's going to help their cause. I don't think there's any way Joe Biden can deflect and divert attention from the abysmal failure he is as president. I don't think it's going to work. Buttigieg said this: government does not make baby formula. That is his response to the baby formula crisis. Well, old Pete, guess what? Government doesn't make food, do they? Government doesn't make water. I mean, it's unbelievable. That is the shrill, smug, disconnected viewpoint of a government bureaucrat who is our Secretary of Transportation and took off at least a month for his newborn baby. McConnell went to Kiev, or KIEVE. You know, everybody always called it Kiev. Now it's KIEVE. Americanization of it, I guess, is Kiev. I'm going to stick with Kiev. And he was there to try to get the $40 billion to them. And he met with Zelensky. And, you know, he is just adamant about this $40 billion. I don't understand it at this point in time. It looks like the Russians are already on the run. Everything's already collapsing. And what I always worry about this money is, where does it go? Where does it money truly go? Whose hand does it really go? Like that pallet of cash that went to Iran. Who actually gets it? The money that went to Afghanistan, who actually gets it? It's corrupt as hell. You know, it doesn't go where it needs to go. Musk said that he is pressed the pause button on Twitter because of the accounts, the robotic accounts, everything that's maybe fraudulent. What he's doing is he's jockeying for a discounted deal. But remember what I said. I said, wouldn't it be funny if in this review process we find out all the corruption on Twitter, Musk backs out and Twitter crashes? Be funny. Kathy Barnette is running for the U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania against Dr. Oz and McCormick. And what Fox News did to her and the president did to her, President Trump did to her, was a beat down into last week. And it was shocking to me. And I haven't delved into all of it, but allegedly, you got to be careful what you wish for, because it appears in the latest poll that the people who are leaving Barnette are going to McCormick. So it's going to be interesting. If that's the case, who closes this? Dr. Oz losing is a big problem for Trump. Buffalo shooting. Tragic, tragic, tragic. Once again, we find out there was a kid that had problems that everybody knew about. You know, nothing is done to protect anybody watching, and then we have a tragedy. It's sad. It's beyond sad. And by the way, this obviously was a racial motivated attack. It's awful and it's wrong, but it doesn't change anything about all the other attacks. The blacks killing blacks in Chicago every week. They're all bad. They're all wrong. I condemn this shooting. Finland wants to be in NATO. Now apparently Sweden does too. I don't understand why there's any issue with any country that wants to join NATO. And if the problem is, well, we're worried what Russia might do. Folks, no NATO country, no Eastern European country, no Scandinavian country is going to invade Russia. The only invader over the last decade in Georgia, the Crimea, and Ukraine has been Russia. They're the ones that invade countries. Why you wouldn't want to make yourself stronger by Everybody being in NATO makes no sense to me whatsoever. And by the way, remember, the first king of Finland, Fortnott, is my 47th great-grandfather. Laguna Woods shooting. This was in California. It was a church. And apparently, the churchgoers tackled the guy, hog-tied him. Good for them. Another condemnation. Then there was a shooting at a Houston flea market, one of our largest cities. Another. By the way, if I remember correctly, these shootings were less during the Trump administration. They reared their ugly head during the Obama years, and now they're back. I don't remember these happening during Trump's administration. Wrong pronouns equal sexual harassment. You believe that? Some kids in a middle school use the wrong pronouns, so that's sexual harassment. PUTIN'S HUBRIS. Apparently there is a movement afoot that he's probably going to lose power. He's sick, he's ill, he's weak. He's got the Ukrainian nightmare. His hubris bridged too far. Classic example. It can happen to all of us. Got to be careful. Speaking of some dictators, Xi in China has a brain aneurysm. He's apparently asking for traditional, which means old Chinese therapy treatment, not modern medical. Yeah, we'll see. BEZOS has gone after the disinformation board. They've asked them to check out Biden's disinformation. If Jeff Bezos turned against him, you add that to Elon Musk, will Bill Gates be next? No, probably not. And yet there was another shooting in Milwaukee, and this shooting, the Milwaukee Bucks postponed their 7th game celebration. Well, guess what? They lost anyway. It didn't matter. And then see ya, PSAKI. She's done Monday or Friday. Apparently there were some tears. No tears from this guy. I think of all the people I've ever seen do this job, she's without a doubt the worst. Hepatitis in children's going around. Why? What if it's connected to the vax? There's going to be more about that on a separate show. FAUCI says that Trump did an abysmal job, blah, 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 blah. Trump was stuck with this jackwagon and did what he wanted to do. Now he turns on Trump. FAUCI. He says he'd probably retire if Trump won again. You going to stick around for 3 more years, Fauci? Last but not least, and this is very interesting in light of the formula debacle, there's a report out that Trump's folks work closely with the meat packing industry to keep the meat going despite their workers being infected with COVID. You know what my response is? Amen, good for you. Let's see. America eating is more important than COVID. You see how they handled it? Now, the Biden administration, no. It's babies should starve from not having formula. Mothers should be stressed out for not having formula. And the FDA needs to keep cracking down. See what happens with this overregulation? They go from claiming they're protecting us to harming us every time. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. I hope today is yours.